Guys, and welcome to this video. In this video, I wanted to go over what tools I use for cold email in 2024 and basically, go over my tech stack and what my go-to tools are. So first of all, we need to take a look at the inboxes and the domains. And in terms of tech, I use what is called Mildoso at the moment. It is so easy, much more easy than setting up Gmails or Outlook accounts. You don't have to do all the backend stuff yourself or hire a VA to do that. So you basically both save time and save money, which is very good. And you just go in here to Mildoso and check their pricing, and you just choose the package that you want in terms of how much volume you're going to do for yourself or for your clients. So yeah, it's just so easy. And you also, when it comes to the accounting side of things and making it into your books, you only get one payment every 3 months instead of when you have Google Workspaces, you get like multiple steps that you have to put into your books. So it just makes it much more easy than using Gmail accounts and Outlook accounts. And I also feel like the deliverability is much better at the moment. And so that's why I use Meldoso. And it takes them 72 hours maximum to set up the whole system, and you just put them into your sending tools of choice and then just start the warm up phase. And it's basically just the same thing as Outlook or Gmail, so that doesn't make any difference. And in terms of lead sourcing, we are going with five different ones at the moment, but more go to when it comes to more niche clients, we use LinkedIn. And we both use Sales Navigator and just normal LinkedIn, but I've gone away from using Sales Navigator and just using LinkedIn. And what we're doing is we basically just find posts of what the clients are, their products is. So that means that if they're selling books, we try to find a post that has maybe a lead magnet with books. So let's say they have 300 or 500 comments on one of the posts that we found, and then another one with 200. Then we go in and scrape the ones that are commented on the post because they're interested in books, and it makes the lead list much more targeted than going into another lead source. And what we're doing in terms of scraping the um, the profiles that are commented on the post is that we use Phantom Buster. So we basically just use it to copy all of the profiles on LinkedIn, put them in here, and just get the data source from them. And then we have to enrich that data, and we use Clay for that to get the email accounts because you only get the profile URLs. So you have to enrich that data, and we use Clay to go over that. But I will get into Clay later in the video. But yeah, that's basically how to use the LinkedIn and what we do when we target more in niche specific. So it's not that broad industries that we can target on LinkedIn. It will take a lot of time and effort to get like a big lead list. So this will be maybe 1,500 to 1,000 leads in the lead list when we doing the LinkedIn method. And then of course you can't go into lead sourcing without mentioning Apollo, and that is just to go broad. So if you have an industry like marketing agencies or anything like that, then I would use Apollo and target who you want to target and make the list, of course, a little bit more niche into your specific area. So if you want to target the CEO or CMO or anything like that. But of course, you can mention, go into lead sourcing without mentioning Apollo. So we use that as well, but it's for broader industries, as I mentioned. And yeah, then we have some clients that are running e-commerce, and we use store leads for that or a VA to scrape it for us. And it's just where we've gotten the best possible results. And we have also used Crunchbase, haven't had that much good results with that, but the store leads is our go-to when it comes to e-commerce and scraping that. And of course, using VAs. So depending on your budget and how much you can afford, but then this is our go-tos. And then, as I mentioned in the Phantom Buster one, we use Clay for lead sourcing as well, enriching the data and setting up our prompts to really go over and find the information that we need. So if you're targeting tech stacks or anything like that, as you can see here, we can get that information. So you really have the possibility to get a lot of information about the companies and really use that in your cold email. So this is our go-to when it comes to getting a lot of data sources that we can leverage in the campaigns. Yes. And in terms of copywriting, we use mail meter, where we use the spam checker. And that's basically when you have made your copy. As you can see here, all the words that are marked is so-called spam words. So you want your overall score to be great instead of poor. So you just pour in your copy here and see, okay, I maybe have two, three words that I need to change. And then when you change it, let's say I just scrape these two, just to give you an example, you can see the words will go down. And when you just move a lot of words, then it would basically, now I'm just removing the whole copy, but as you can see here, when I just removed all those words, then it will be great. So this is what you want. You want it to be great. So the likelihood of you ending up in spam instead of the main inbox is much more likable. And yeah, so this is what we use it for. And then we have Hemingway app, and this is basically just to give your copy a, can you say, a reading grade. So you want it to be as low as possible. So in terms of making it easy to understand, then you just plug in your copy here and go through it. So it's easy to understand, and you're not using any kind of weird words that isn't human or anything like that, because you're reaching out to another human and you also need to understand that. So not make it too long, too complicated to understand is very key when it comes to the copy. And then for the last tool, in terms of copywriting, we use Grammarly, and that is just to give a guidance in terms of if you're making any grammar mistakes or anything like that, you can get that going. It's just a Chrome extension that you have, and then when you're making the copy, it will give you some examples that you can use, but it's not always correct. So you have to be careful how to use it. But it's just a great way to make sure that you're not making any major mistakes when it comes to your copy. So in terms of sending tool, we are using Smartlead at the moment, and it's working really well. It's a little bit different than Instantly, but Smartlead is what our preference is at the moment. Very easy to use, very easy to set up. And when you're using Meldoso, it's just a CSV file that you just plug into the sending software, and you can do that as well inside of Instantly. But yeah, Smartlead is our go-to at the moment. And for the personalization, we use video. And video is just a really great tool to be more personal with your prospects and not be like a robot, so they can see that another human is reaching out to them. And yeah, it's just a great way to pitch them and really tell about your services. You will have about 60 to 90 seconds, maximum 2 minutes, to tell them about what you do and what you got to offer. And yeah, it's just, as I said, really great way to go about. And it books so many meetings that yeah, it just outperforms using the other tool that we are using for personalization as well. But it's just the best way that we see to get clients and book them on meetings is using video. And for that, we use Sendler, which is our go-to, just a really affordable video tool, and it works really well. You both have the option of yeah, making it a circle in the bottom, making it a square. You can also shows that you can, it really looks like you're recording a Loom on the website, but they only have a website template at the moment. That's what we are using, and we are getting really, really good results with it. Easy to use, easy to navigate on, and the pricing, which I will show you here, is really, really cheap compared to other softwares when it comes to video. As you can see, 97 a month for 5,000 videos. That is really cheap. And yeah, for 5,000 videos, you would have to pay maybe 300 or 400 bucks in another video tool. So this is what we use, and we have really great success with that. And then the last one we use for personalization is Clay. And as I mentioned before, the video is much better performing than us using Clay. And you really have to be good at prompting the Clay agent and using API keys and everything like that, because it could get really expensive if you're using Clay for everything. But it's a very great source to find all the relevant things that you want to know about the company and do some personalization off from that. And you can do outbound ideas if you're running an outbound agency, or you can do paid ads ideas that you can send out to the prospects. So you can do some really great lead magnets as well inside of Clay. And it's just a really, really great software when it comes to personalization. That's the only one we use when we do personalized openers or anything like that. So this is a rundown of what tech stack we are using at the moment at the agency, and we will evolve over time and maybe use more text, and go over the personalization would probably be another video in terms of the clay and how we do that. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, have a great day. Bye, guys.